Hey guys, what's up? How are you doing? Hello Joey, how are you? Hey, okay, tested. How's your Monday going? Making coffee. Oh, I was really close to making coffee. I was almost doing coffee, but decided not to in the end. Hey Tentaches, what's up? Um, you were close to getting beer. There's a connection here. Brar. Yes, rar. Endgames, guys. Today it's Endgames day, and today we're going to see the most important endgames: Rook and Pawn versus Rook. I usually prepare the study before the stream. I didn't do it today, so I'm gonna be creating the study. And maybe I'm slower than usual, but we'll see. So, how to do this? Let's create a new study. Yeah. To learn study. I miscalculated when you said in approximately 6 hours on the Discord, so I'm ready for 1 hour. Okay. I said that at my 4 p.m. I'm pretty sure it was 3:49 when I said it. So your mistake. Create new study. Hello, RT Dialer. I don't know why I thought 21 in my head. Sorry. I'm sorry, Tentaches. So you have the same, you're in the same time zone I am? Oh yes, you're from Italy, maybe? Let's make it invite only for the moment. And me, everything only me for the moment. I'm gonna call it Rook and Pawn versus Rook. France. Oh, you're from France. Oh, aha. For some reason, your Discord nickname sounded Italian for me. Rook and Pawn or Rook plus Pawn? How did I do in the previous puzzles? Bonjour, OJ. What is up? Study endgames. What do we have here? Not helping. Study Rook. Rook versus Pawn. Not helping. Okay, whatever. Let's call it Rook and Pawn versus Rook. Or Rook plus Pawn versus Rook. Yeah, I like this better. Blah, blah, blah. No sync, please. Start. So, first chapter. It's going to be the Philidor position. Do you know the Philidor position, guys? Philidor defense? Philidor position. How do I call it? Philidor rule. Hey, OJ. How are you doing? I'm sure in the book it has a proper name. Philidor position. Okay. The 4th rank defense. I think it's called the 3rd rank defense, isn't it? Philidor position. I do not. Okay, good. Because we're about to see it. Maybe that's where I went wrong. I saw it a bunch of times in books, but never successfully defended it as far as I know. Okay. I should know it, but I'm not sure whether I could apply it on the board. Okay, okay. So, first of all, these are the most important endgames to study. When you study theoretical endgames, apart from basic mating patterns and basic king and pawn versus king. The next thing to study a lot is rook and pawn versus rook, and they are complex. They are complex. So we're going to cover a lot of different ideas, ways to attack and ways to defend. But probably the most basic one is this one, the Philidor. So let's start there. Hey Sefa, what is up? How was your tournament yesterday? Okay, black to play. A good thing to know would be how to win if opponent doesn't know the drawing technique. Yes, we're gonna try and see that as well. Okay, create chapter and so this position is black to move, and white is promoting here, of course, and black to move and make a draw. I'm good but not understand the question. I was talking with Dad. Okay, Sefa, you played a tournament yesterday, chess over the board tournament. How was it? Hey Sakuho, what is up? Throwing random moves as usual. So what do you think, guys? OJ, how will you draw with black? It's black to move and draw. And I can tell you there are many moves to draw, but what we're going to see is a simple technique to draw. So it's what, rook g6 now, preventing king to the 6, and if he ever pushes, then we go rook g1 and check forever. Exactly, OJ. Exactly, that's the Philidor or third rank defense. Hey Salty, how are you, man? Oh, you moved. You already traveled? I think you were going to travel back. Okay. We want to prevent the king to rush. Yeah. Zap Joey and Pepe. What's up, Salty? Back in Ottawa, exactly. I didn't remember where you were going to go back. I knew it was near the US, but not the US, so I should have guessed it was Canada. And I know you were in Somalia, right? I posted my travels on Dio's Discord and Bigfoots and Chess Brass. Okay, Salty, I mean, I'm not following all of... Actually, I'm no longer on Bigfoot's Discord. I don't usually enter Chess Brass Discord. Too much noise. And I'm not on Dio's Discord. I'm sorry, I'm such a bad fan, such a bad follower. Forgot to post in your Discord. Ah, no worries. Tepe, I have a new chess variant idea. And you give a Feng position there with a lot of kings. What is that? What is that, Sakuho? Okay. So OJ was right. Rook g6. You keep the rook here, so there's no way for the king to make progress. And I don't know, white will play some moves. We can wait with the rook maybe. But yeah, okay, that's not making progress. So let's try to make progress with white. If we ever bring the rook down, this king can escape, so that we're not interested in that. To be able to make any progress, we need to push the pawn at some point. As long as black keeps the rook here on the third rank, for example, after rook here, we will just keep the rook in the third rank. And at some point, if white pushes the pawn, then rook down. And we're gonna check forever. And easy. There's no shield for the king. So What would happen in the initial position if we don't do rook g6? Well, for now, moves like rook g2 or rook g1 are still a draw, but what you should not do, the only way not to draw this, is this one. This is what you should not do, allowing the king in front of the pawn. This is the way to lose this position. Now black is lost because this king has shield. There's no way to keep checking the king, and white is going to make progress because rook a8 will happen. I mean, there's only one move to stop rook a8 without losing the rook immediately, and that's rook d8. But then the rook goes to the other side, and we should resign. So this is what you should avoid when there's king and pawn. I mean, there are many ways to defend, and it depends on the position. But the technique of the Philidor technique, if you can apply it, it's the safest one because it prevents all these problems when the opponent's king goes in front of the pawn. Now you can wait. There's no problem in waiting as well, because if the king ever goes in front of the pawn, we go rook g6 and we still draw. What if rook g6 and e6? Okay, we already showed that line. The thing is, you go back. Well, we showed on the h file, but it's the same. Then you go back, and now you start checking, and there's no way this king is going to be in front of the pawn because now there's no space once the pawn has been pushed. So this is called the Philidor, but it's also called the third rank defense, and I think that's maybe easier to remember name because you defend in your third rank. Here, this is the third rank of the black side. You keep your rook there. If white does nothing, you do nothing. You keep the rook there on the third rank, and there's no way to make progress. What if the king and pawn at fourth file? Well, you can do the same. Basically, in the this is like the extreme case where you can apply this defense, but you can do it in all the files. The Euros, thanks for the follow. But yeah, it's not so scary when the pawns are back and the king is back. It's not so scary. Chess is so weird. The solution is in play side during the whole game. Or wait for coming to the third file. Not sure what you mean there. Okay, so yeah, nothing else to see here. It's just rook g6. There are other moves that draw, but this is the simplest. You put the rook on the third rank. Let's call this Philidor position or third rank defense. Well, we didn't see what happens here, but there's no way to make progress. For example, king d6, rook d1, check, check. We keep checking forever, pretty much. Check, check. And if the king goes away, we can keep checking, or we can choose to attack the pawn. And the king has to go back, and we keep checking. Just wait for the king to come to the third rank. Yes, or the pawn. Basically the pawn. You wait for the pawn to come to the third rank. You put the rook there, so the king cannot go there, and then you put the pawn. I won a game thanks to your lesson in the floating square. Oh, cool. That's nice, Salty. It's good to know that these sessions are useful. Yeah, so the way to lose is rook d3. I think there are not a lot of ways to lose, but for example, another way to lose would be to play rook f3. because that way we no longer have access to the third rank. So waiting moves work here, like rook g2, but this is not a good waiting move, for example, because now after king e6 we cannot go to the third rank, and we're busted here. For example, a waiting move that works would be rook b3, or even rook c3. Rook c3 is possible, because if he ever goes here, we go to the third rank. But yeah, rook d3 losing, rook f3 losing, rook e3, of course, that loses as well. So can we see all the ways to lose this? I mean, I can see rook a3 and rook g7 also losing. Knatch SR, thanks for the follow. And that's pretty much it. Well, rook g8 also loses. Yeah, I think we've seen all the losing moves already. Could you explain how white wins after rook f3 if black goes for the short side? Yeah, after king e6, there's no way to avoid rook a8 check. So for the short side, you mean like king f8 here? I mean, white is threatening checkmate, we don't have checks, so either we try to block, which is obviously losing. I mean, check here and trade and king f7, or you run with the king. Now, if you run with the king, you have two options, king here or king here. Both of them will lead to the Lucena position, I think, and we're gonna cover that, I think, in the next position. But okay, this one maybe doesn't lead to the Lucena. Maybe this one can be one easier. But yeah, basically you're gonna make progress with the pawn. I'm not sure here because black has rook b3 and long side. Yeah, but here you have rook a7, right? Or even e6. Joanna, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the host. Full watch. Might be lost, but not obvious for me. It is lost. It is lost. Now, if rook c8, king d7, if king g6, just maybe just go for the Lucena again with rook a1, or king d6. I think king d6 is possible in this position, which is funny because if king f6, there's rook f7. Do you want to practice, Emmeling? Hey, GM Vahe. But we wait on 8th and not Lucena. Okay, it's not Lucena immediately, but I mean, it's the same idea. What if the pawn is on G, B, C, or F? Okay, guys, I'm gonna keep sticking to the plan. Let's not go out of there because this is gonna be very messy if we start. I've been following since October 21st. Oh, nice, because October is when we let him have his plan, guys. Yeah, no, sorry, but yeah, the problem with these endgames is this. They lead, you know, one positions can lead to other positions, and there's many branches. And I'm trying to show concepts, so I was trying to show Philidor. And now why some other positions are lost, we're gonna understand with the positions I have prepared for Lucena and for other patterns, first rank defense, etc. I've always found the cases with pawns on 6 very confusing. Yeah, these positions are always complex. That's why I want to, instead of what I'm doing here, that is filling this chapter of this study with a lot of lines, I'm gonna clean all of those lines. I'm gonna stick to the plan, and I'm gonna show one concept per chapter. Delete 18 moves, yes. Delete from here, delete from here, delete from here. Because yeah, I'm gonna clean up the study after this for sure, but I don't want to. I'll try to keep it a bit clean anyway. Hey, Jim! Wow, 6 months in a row! Wow, Jim. Thanks, mate. Thanks for the support. And I'm totally sure you know it, but you have access to the perks, man. 6 months, that's a lot. You're a bishop. You're a bishop. Okay, so yeah, Philidor defense, rook g6, ways to lose, delete from here. So rook g6, you stay there until the pawn is pushed, and then you check from the back. Hello, Astralico. And that's the easy way to defend this position. We're gonna see ways to lose, but yeah, basically any move that oopsie, that's not losing. Any move like this or this that allows king in front and then we don't have access to the third rank loses. Okay, so let's move on and see how to win a position. Hey Mike, what is up? Let's see how to win a position where we get the king in front. It's similar to what we saw. When we get the king in front, the opponent's the opponent's king is pushed out. Hey Ellipse, what is up? And eventually you get to advance the pawn and the king, something like this. And eventually you get the rook out of there. And black has the rook somewhere, let's say here usually. Or even here, it's the same. Now let's put it here. White to play. I'm getting ready to go to camping. Yeah. Up depends on which direction you sit. Yes. Okay, so let's see how to win this position, Lucena. And we're showing already the usual Lucena position, but you can more or less understand how to get here from other positions. So, okay, Lucena, white to play, great chapter. Okay, so white to play and win. There are many winning moves here, basically, because the position is winning. Enjoy, Joey. And how would you win here, guys? Rook e4 says Tenta chess. The problem with rook e4, this is a Lucena position. Yes, this is one of the many positions that might be won with the Lucena maneuver, which is also called the bridge. So I'm going to put it here in the title. The bridge. Ugh, sounds awful. What? Trying to get this lane work stuff done. Oh, okay. Many winning position because position is winning. Many winning moves, I meant, if I didn't say that. Good evening, Altbauer. Bauer? I don't know. From Berlin. I loved Berlin. I would check first, but whatever. Yes, Mika is right. We need to check first. Hey, Whiskey, what is up? Who's to move? It's white to move. White to move and win. And I think all moves win except maybe rook c1. Can we find another move that does not win? Rook e2, rook c1, and rook e6. Those are the not winning moves. What is funny? What is funny is rook c1 and rook e6 are draws. I think rook c1 is a draw and rook e6. But okay, let's show how to win this. Thanks, Joey. Van Hammer. Black probably has some tricks with the king attacking rook or so. Well, rook e4 is the right idea, but with bad timing, because we first need to push the king out. If we play rook e4, we're never gonna get... We want to get out, right, to promote the pawn. So let's let's take baby steps here. We need this king to get out, and for that we need this king out of here. So the first move, as Mike pointed out, is to check. So this king goes away. King must go away, basically, because the alternative king e6 is easily winning with just king e8, and we're going to promote, and there's no way to stop it. Even if this rook was here, we would promote, because after the check we promote. So it doesn't really matter that he doesn't have access here. We're winning anyway. I was just talking to someone about all best Thor beats involve drinking. Cheers, Lee. He got the hammer. Should I unban him? I never know. I don't know. You had a reason to ban, so I'm fine. I'm fine. I mean, I saw a long message and I didn't have time to read it all. I trust you. I trust you. So okay, the king goes away, and black's idea is if we ever go out, black is gonna check us, and if we try to avoid that, black is going to go back with the king to stop our king from going there, from going out. Joanna removed ban and timed out. I trust you. I trust you. Hey Astralico, thanks for the follow. He just pasted chat rules. Okay. Kinda annoying, not sure it's permaban worthy yet. I trust you, Joey. Whatever you do. I need to rewrite my rules to make them shorter. Hey Vadim, what is up? Don't trust me. I blindly trust you. How about coming down to attack the rook and defending the pawn using the rook? Well, the thing is, we want to get out, but he's gonna check us. The only way to prevent check, that's terrifying. The only way to prevent check is to put the rook at some point in this file or some file to stop the checks. Thanks for the follow, Vadim Medvedev. I found my dream tent. I saw. What would you recommend a medium experienced player to do to start building a base set of knowledge for endgames? Medium experienced player, I don't know. I will recommend to everyone the same. I'm gonna recommend Endgames 0. We're building some knowledge here in these studies. Watch Pepe's Endgames streams, exactly. So we have this Endgames from 0 to hero study, which is, it goes from 0, so it goes from very basic. But from there I'm linking other studies more in detail of the different topics we're covering, like I think we've covered so far queen versus pawn, rook versus pawn, king and pawn versus pawn, king and different number of pawns, like king and 2 pawns versus pawn, king and pawn versus king and 2 pawns, king and 2 pawns versus king and 2 pawns, and we've covered king and knight, knight versus bishop with 1 pawn. We've covered probably rook versus pawn, knight versus pawn we covered. So yeah, we have a lot of different studies, all linked from that one. and we're creating now this one, and we're gonna link it as well from there. I saw you uploaded an Endgame stream to YouTube, but not the rest of them. But they are available on Twitch. Yes, they are available on Twitch, and of course the studies are available on Lichess. Yeah, the studies are available, and I try to clean them up and put enough text so you don't need to re-watch the videos, and you can follow your path, so to speak, like the things you're interested in studying at any point. Are there any new principles that come into play in the endgame that might not apply to the rest of the game? Yes. What we didn't cover a lot, we also covered domination endgames, domination puzzles, those are great. Yeah, what we didn't cover a lot yet, and I want to do in the near future, is practical endgames. Endgames that are not basic and theoretical, but just a bit more complex. And okay, Joey, and those endgames definitely are like, how to say it? They are like middle game positions in a way. They're strategical. You need to make plans, and you need to apply some principles. And yeah, definitely some principles change from an endgame position to another type of position. For example, I don't know, you can think about the pawns. In the opening, it's good to have central pawns and control the center, but in the endgame, it's good to have pawns far from each other, so they're it's more difficult to stop them. So many things change. The value of some pieces, the rooks are more important in the endgame usually. The color of the bishops is very important in bishop and pawn endgames. So yeah, many little things. Many little things. So what you're saying is I'm gonna need like a year to learn endgames? No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. But one good thing about studying endgames, for example, if you compare it with studying openings, you study an endgame and you know for sure you're gonna get it. You're gonna get that endgame. You're studying a theoretical endgame. I mean, a basic endgame. You know you're gonna get it at some point in some game. Maybe not in the line you play, but in one line you calculate, and maybe your opponent avoids. But you're gonna get to use that knowledge. Openings, it's mostly the other way around. It's very hard to get what you study. You study a lot to only get some positions sometimes. So it's more worth it. It's worth it to study endgames as compared to openings, for example. And also the impact in the outcome of the games is higher in the case of endgames as compared to other phases of the game. So yeah. Also, if you study basic endgames, you're gonna be a better endgame player in practical endgames, because you're gonna know what are you looking for. You're gonna know, oh, I shouldn't do this because it's gonna be a theoretical draw, stuff like that. We're gonna learn or talk. Rawr. I mean, people is asking questions, and I always answer or try to. Cefa is proposing rook f4, and there are two ways to make the bridge here, but we need to make a bridge. So where were we? We want to go out, but if he ever checks, we want at some point to those checks to stop, and we don't want to go back here. If we prevent that check first, he's gonna go here, so our king cannot escape. So what are we going to do is to put the rook on f4, as Cefa is suggesting, and eventually we're gonna block the checks with a rook. And now you might say, why here? Why not here or here? We'll get there. So this is the important move to remember. You put the rook on your fourth rank. And let's see how the game will continue. Black is gonna wait, for example, rook c1, we get out, black needs to start checking us because we're threatening to promote, no other way to stop it, so check, we go out, check, we need to keep the pawn defended, this is important, we don't go to e5, we keep the pawn defended, rook has to check us, and now we go here, bam, and now we're gonna have this. And black is busted because has no access here, so black needs to check. We go here, and we're gonna promote. This is called the bridge. We build a bridge. Why is it called the bridge and not the wall? I don't know. It's called the bridge. So, now basically there's no solution for black. Black must resign here because we're gonna get a queen. There's no way to stop it. Now we might think, delete from here. We may think that rook f5 could also work, right? What about this? Rook f5 could also work because now, for example, if black does the same, because the person who invented it likes to play bridge. Ah, that's a good idea. That's a good suggestion. Yeah, maybe that was it. We go rook e7, check. We try to do the same, right? King d6, check, and rook d5. It's working. It's working, right? It's the same. Okay. The thing is, black is not forced to play rook c1 here. What if black moves to e2 first? We go to the other side and we do the same. But there can be king g6. Exactly, Sefa. What if black plays king g6 here instead of rook c1? It must be rook f4. Rook d4. Rook d4. 2 moves ago it can be king g6 too. Yeah, king g6 can be played in other lines, but rook f5, if we put the rook on f4 in the first move, king g6, we're not worried about it. We're worried about it if we play rook f5. King g6. And now what do we do? Rook needs to be 2 tempos away from the king, otherwise the king can keep harassing the rook. I'd say it's now rook d5. Well, rook d5 wins. The good news is many moves still win, and we can, for example, repeat with rook f1, and now if king g7 we go rook f4, so we're not changing the character of the position, we're still gonna be winning, but we need to be certain when we go for the win how to do it. For example, we may think, hey, but why not king e7? We're gonna promote, and if he checks us now, we're gonna make the bridge, or what? No, no, there won't be bridge that way. There won't be bridge because if we go to d6, now there's a skewer here, but there's what happens here, king f8. Aren't we winning? Rook d2, we need to defend the pawn, but we can, and then we promote. Okay, but king can take rook, yeah, exactly. So these variations are always complex. Hey, Metal Eagle. But yeah, basically the problem with king e7 is we need to be sure it's still winning. It's still winning, but we need to be sure how to win queen versus rook, which is not the easiest ever. You're trying to lose, Pepe. Just win. Yeah, basically to win you play rook d5, rook f3, rook f1, any move that keeps the winning construction. Just saying that rook f5 is not the right way to build the bridge. You go rook f4. So easy. So easy. So let's see it again. Rook f4. Black must lose a tempo. Are you AM, FM, or GM? No, I'm not. Now we go out. He's an expert. I'm no expert in. I'm expert in nothing. We go out. Check, check, and we finally block. So this is the right method, and I'm gonna try and keep that as the main line. Okay, it was this one, and clean most of the lines we played here. He's Pepe, yes. It's Chess FM. He's Jesus. I'm not. Oh, the proof. Oh, the proof. But he's a student of the world famous GM Cortillo. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that was the explanation of Lucena. Lucena, I call it Lucena. Let's show now. We're going to see another method that is called Kling and Horwich, but first we're going to see the long side. Long side defense, we can call it like that. Long side defense. And we're going to put this position here and here, and it's black to play. Fang, it was a clip from where I asked if Pepe Jesus talks Aramaic. Yes. Oh, that was you asking. I didn't remember. I didn't remember who asked that. It was you, Mike. Yeah. Okay, cool. So this is a position that looks very similar to the previous one. There's a difference though. First, black has a better rook because it's here. It can give lateral checks. In the previous position, it was here cutting the king, but not able to do checks. And also, it's black's turn. So this position, it's black to move and draw. And what basically happens here is that the pawn is already in the 7th rank, our king is cut, this king is helping the pawn, this rook is cutting the king, so all fine for black, for white I mean. But black has still a resource, and it's called long side defense or distant checks defense. What about checking every time? Exactly, Sefa. But it's important that it happens in the long side. So from the pawn, we have a long side. Sorry, let's put it in green. And a short side. We have a side that is longer than the other. We need the rook on the long side. Why? Because sometimes the strong king can harass a rook when we're checking it. So we need to be far enough. That's why, as a principle or as a rule, when you're still not in this position and you are defending, if you have to pick a side, you go with the king to the short side. You go with this king to the short side, you don't go here because you want the rook on the long side and the king on the short side. That gives you the better chances the best chances to defend. Why isn't it called the lateral defense? It should be. Okay, let me see what's the name in the book. The long side strategy, distant checks. It calls it distant checks, long side strategy. But yeah, lateral defense makes sense as well. So what do? Yes, we check every time. As Sefa pointed out, we check. The king must defend the pawn. Let's say king here, check. King here, check. And that's how far the king can go from the pawn. He can't go any further because he needs to keep the pawn defended. What's the name of the book you checked? Yeah, I have here the one of the best books I know on endgames. 100 Endgames You Must Know by Spanish Grandmaster Jesús de la Villa. Jesús de la Villa, 100 Endgames You Must Know. It's awesome. This book is great. So if you don't want to be studying endgames for he's Jesus. Yeah, he's also Jesus, yes. Funny, got the book today. It's a great book. Yeah, most of, well, because we're covering theoretical endgames, it cannot be, we're not, the material cannot be very original because, very well known endgames. So most of the material we're seeing in these endgame sessions is covered in the book, and most of the material in the book is covered in these streams. But yeah, there are some differences. He makes water into chess knowledge. Okay, so you can guess because there's only one square in the middle. You can guess this wouldn't work if the side was the short side. Defend pawn from d6, then chase rook. Yeah, exactly, hate it, but it's not enough. Because if we ever go and try and chase the rook, let's say, for example, king here, I don't know, how do you chase the rook? If you go back here, we repeat. If you go here, the rook has, of course, the option to keep giving checks, but it also has the option to go here immediately. And it's an immediate draw. So no way to chase the rook properly. Also this, I mean, if we ever attack the rook can go attack the pawn and it's over. But that only works because the rook is far from the pawn. Otherwise the king would really be in good shape to chase the rook. So that's called the long side or distant checks defense, or I like good chess mind suggestion of calling it lateral defense. I would understand if you tell me lateral defense. I would understand you mean this. I know how to make an entrance. What? Because you said it makes water into chess knowledge. Hey, John, what is up? Good night. Okay, now, any plans to cover king and queen versus king and two rooks? I find myself in that position a lot as a hyper-aggressive London player. I don't have a lot of plans on that, but at some point it might arise. I have some games that ended like that, and recently, this in the last chess league, one of my teammates managed to get a position where he had the two rooks versus the queen. There were some pawns. It was completely winning, of course, for him. I mean, I was like, oh, great, good job. He's a 1700 player and he was playing against a 1900 player and he got a winning, what it looked like a winning endgame. And he managed to lose it. So I think that's a really interesting game to cover at some point, to explain the plans for the two rooks and for the queen. But yeah, as a general rule, unless there's a clear tactical shot for the queen, I would take the side of the two rooks. Your friend sounds like me. Yeah, two rooks. In the end, two rooks are two different pieces that can coordinate against a square. The queen is more powerful, but it's just one piece. So many times the two rooks can coordinate very well against the queen, and they defend each other. They defend critical squares to avoid a pawn to be pushed or so. And yeah, in general, generally speaking, the two rooks tend to have the advantage against the queen. And if there are no pawns, then it should be a draw, but if some side can win, is obviously the one with the two rooks, unless you are totally discoordinated and the queen has a tactical shot, of course. Always just keep them connected and you can't lose, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. But usually you have pawns. It's the most common. So you need to be worried about if some pawn is passed. You need to coordinate the rooks, yes, defend each other, but also defend the important squares to avoid problems. Yeah, one day we can cover some different cases on that. It's a really interesting topic. My teammate said he learned a lot from that game. Okay, so long distance defense, we check every time. All is good, all is good. We're gonna see now what is called the first rank defense, and I have the position here, so I'm gonna copy that. So we've seen a drawing method or a defensive resource, which is the Philidor. We've seen another one now, which is the long side distant checks. And we've seen a winning idea, which is Lucena or Lucena. We're going to see another defensive method. Now it's called the first rank defense. Yes. And in the book, it's interesting. The chapter name is the Knight's Pawn. So I'm going to put that. I'm going to use first rank defense, and I'm going to add Knight's Pawn. And it's white to play. Because, yeah, it's white to play. Create chapter. Okay, so this position is a draw. But I'm gonna play a very critical move with white, which is king a6. And I'm gonna ask you black to play and draw while I go grab a fizzy water. I'll be right back. Black to play and draw. Knight's Pawn is very nice name, that's cool. Knight's Pawns are tricky sometimes. If you don't mind me asking, where are you from? I'm usually pretty good at accents, but I can't place yours. Great. What would your guess be? What would you think? Tell me something. Tell me your guess. Nazareth. I think most of the people in the chat already know where I'm from, but before we disclose that information, I want to know your guess. Somewhere nearish to like Italy or Spain. Yeah, then you're not so far. I think I have some commands, probably from or where or place. Yes, from worked. Rook a1, then back to c1. That's probably a way to lose, because we trade rooks and we go king a7. Let's show that line. Waiting does not work. Rook check and rook c1 does not work because black can just check, trade rooks, go king a7 and win. Right on, yeah, you were totally right there. Although, to be honest, I'm more close to Portugal than to... My accent should be closer to Portuguese, maybe, a bit, than to typical Spanish from Madrid. And definitely should be away from Italian. Rook c7 maybe. Rook c7 has some issues as well. What happens if he just trades rooks and goes rook a7? Oopsie. Definitely threw me off, but I'm not super well versed in that part of the world. Okay, where are you from, Astralico? John says, I like rook c8, but b6 is annoying. Well, let's remember what was Philidor. The Philidor defense. We want to avoid, in general, the king to be in front of the pawn. So we kept the rook on the third rank, that was Philidor. It would be nice to be able to do it here, but we cannot. Use Michigan. Folk talk weird, I've been told. You're from Michigan? Cool. Well, I think Minnesotan talk weird as well. And reach third rank. So move rook to D, E, F, G. Yeah, rook here would be nice if we could, but we cannot. Of all chess players, what is the percentage of male? Too big. Too big. I want to go rook c8 and try to get stalemated. Well, rook c8, I can tell you that's right, John. Oh yeah, Minnesota takes the cake for weird accents. Nice. Minnesota. I've watched so many TV series that I'm not sure where are all the accents from. I was thinking rook c8 also. Well, maybe the title of the chapter, if you remember what I typed, maybe you don't remember, but the title of this chapter was First Rank Defense. And that's definitely a hint for the move to defend here, rook c8. Yeah, rook c8 is the only way to draw. You guys need to visit Birmingham in the United Kingdom. Nihilas vos. Okay. I've never been to Birmingham. I've been to London. I've been to Glasgow, talking about the United Kingdom. So when white pushes a pawn, we go to the 6th rank. No. When white pushes pawn, what do we do here? First rank, first rank, first rank, first rank. Yes, first rank. Mika is right. First rank. We keep we keep a rook in the first rank. We have 4 moves here that draw, and only those. I took it back already. You took it back. No, yeah, we just wait in here. There's no way to win this. But only because it's the knight's pawn. You know, if it wasn't the knight's pawn, the rook would go to the other side. But there's no other side. We're too close to the side. Thankfully, we have the king here, so the rook cannot go to the other side to checkmate us. And how does white win? We just wait, and white has nothing. White can try the check. And what do we do here after this check? Maybe that's the only trick that white can try to win. And we shouldn't fall for it. Stay in the corner, stay in the corner. Exactly, stay in the corner. Why not? In general, you want that kind of you want to be in the corner when the opponent has a rook on, like on b7. Yeah, king c8 would be risky because now it's now it's tough. Now it's tough. We might say, oh, no worries, we're gonna do this, but yeah, check, we're pushed out. Yeah, this is not good. So we don't allow king a7. We shouldn't allow king a7. We keep the king in these two squares, so there's no king a7. And that's it. Rook on the first rank, king as close to the corner as possible. As close to the corner as possible, but importantly, in this position, we don't go to the corner, of course. We'll see that. We'll see that. But also, in this position, let's say we lose a tempo with the rook, and he loses a tempo with the rook. Also in this position, can we go to the corner? Oh, it's risky, but we can. I wouldn't do it, but we can. Because after this check, king b8, and this is not check, b7 is not check, so we're safe. But why would we, if we can just wait with the rook? I would wait with the rook. Lord Sakujo doesn't see that. Oh yeah, how do white advance? Stay in the corner. Lord Sakujo doesn't see that. What? What? Finally done with work. Catch you later, Peplu. Okay, very educational stuff. Oh, thank you. Okay, so yeah, first rank defense, we go there. And that's it. If we wait on the 6th, someone suggested, I think, after rook c8, which, by the way, I'm going to make main line here in the study, and I'm going to clean all the other lines before it's too late. Delete from here, delete from here, delete from here. Okay, so after rook c8, the fork on b7, you said everyone here sees that. Ah, okay. b6, we don't go here. Why don't we go here? Because, and I think this is very similar to another line we've seen, rook h8, and the trade of rooks wins for white. And maybe that's all you should remember about this position. Delete from here. Like in this position, I don't know, let's do a random move. White's threat is rook h8, basically, and if rook c8, trade, and king a7. If you remember that, if you see this position and oh, what's white's threat? White's threat is check, trade rooks, and win. Then it's pretty obvious that the only move that prevents that is rook c1. So in this position we play rook c8. Rook c8, not rook c1, sorry. I think I said rook c1 many times, but it's rook c8. Okay. Pepe, have you got a photo of not beard and mustached, just your face? Yes. But I'm not gonna show it. Okay. Next. We're gonna show now another defensive method, a defensive resource that is a bit desperate, to be honest. So it's the most complicated. I want to see, I wondered it. Some other day. I'm not too drunk today. And also, as you can imagine, it was a long time ago when I didn't have a beard. Pepe without a beard is like water without fizzing it. Yeah, last time I shaved completely my face, it was maybe like four or 5 years ago. And I decided not to do it again. It's like I mean, maybe at some point I'm concerned about my age and I do it, but it's like removing 10 years from me, from my look. I look like a child. Really, from Pepe was born in the Judean village of Bethlehem and raised in Nazareth. Okay, thanks, Lord Sakujo. Pepe's age. Oh, I thought we had the command age. Yes, we have it. So, 2018 years old. Can we have a age command be a... What? We have the age command. I didn't know your age. Oh, you didn't? I have that command since the beginning of times. Okay, it's black to play. And this is gonna be called the Kling and Horwich. I'm gonna use the book because I don't know how Kling is typed. Okay, it's how I thought it was. Kling and Horwitz, because Horwitz was a known player. Kling, I don't know anything about him. Kling and Horwitz, defensive technique. Beginning of times, exposed. Busted, I'm busted. Well, we don't play Rook F8. Don't tell if it's win draw. Well, I'm calling it defensive method, so so maybe that's a hint, but I'm not gonna tell you whether this is a win or not. Can you connect beer and chess? I'm impressed. Of course I can. What is chess without beer? Okay. Cheers, mate. It's winning, I think, if it's defensive. Sarcasm? Okay, it's black to move. It's black to move. And this is the typical position where we're in front of the pawn. Perfect. Wait, this position again? No, this is a new position, Mike. Just sarcasm. I know, Sefa. Rook on the 7th. Okay. Rook f7 loses, John. Yeah, Rook f7 he can just trade. And I think this is winning. Okay, let's remove this line. Delete from here. New position. Yeah, this is a new position. If you remember the Philidor, I'm gonna show the Philidor again. Our first position today was the Philidor. Let's show it again. This was the Philidor. And we played Rook g6 to control the third rank. So the king cannot be pushed, he has to push the pawn first. And then we go back for the checks, right? Now we're in this position, and we cannot enter the third rank, so we cannot do the same. We would love to do Rook g6, or Rook b6, or Rook a6, but we can't. It looks like the Philidor, yeah. This is exactly like in the Philidor, but this is not. The rook cannot go to the third rank. And that's a big time problem, actually. It looks like the Philidor, but we can go to the third because of the pawn. Yeah, that's a problem. Exactly, Tenta. Huge difference. Yeah, huge difference. Which beer is statistically winning for white here? Which beer? Oh, I can tell you. I can tell you, I think. I think I have a beer command, probably. Yes. Yes, I do. Rook g5, rar. So you're suggesting Rook g5, but what is the problem with Rook g5, guys? What's the problem with Rook g5? Okay, tested. Arrows, green. Rook g5 allows a winning move. Can you spot the winning move here? It's connected to the Philidor, basically. The king can go to e6. King to e6 is not winning. These are the subtleties of these endgames. It's all about being able to go to e6 when the rook cannot push us from there. If we go to e6 immediately, rook checks, and rook is finally in the third rank. So this is a draw. This is a draw now. King goes there, the rook goes to the other side, and this is Philidor. This is how you save the position with the Philidor defense, third rank. But king d6, as Mika is pointing out, king d6, now it's winning. Because we cannot go here, and if we go here, now the push. And this is a winning construction now, already on the 6th rank. All right. Can someone add, is Pepe sponsored by DuckDuckGo? I'm not. So, c5 we win now. What? Who added that command? Okay. So rook g5 doesn't work because basically king d6. So that's the threat. Okay, so delete from here. So we cannot go to the third rank, and if we just wait and try to access the third rank with a move like rook g5, white plays king d6 followed by e6 and white wins. What can we do? King f1, rar. I guess rook f1. King d8, easy. Well, king d8 has the same problems. King d8, king d6, and yeah, we don't defend there. But yeah, rook f1. Rook f1 is the idea, but okay, it's the move, not the idea. All of them work, rook f1, rook f2, rook f3, or even I think rook f4, but obviously when you want to go to the back of to the rear of king and pawn, you usually go here, you know, as far as you can. So what is the idea now? White can try some things, but of course white will not push the pawn here because then we will have checks forever. The most challenging way is king d6. White pushes king right now. Yes. So white pushes pawn, and knightbot has left the room. Nice one. So yes, this is the most challenging one. Paladut is now following, and this is a really tough position to defend now. There's only one move. Why not king e6 threatening mate? Well, king e6 threatens mate, so that's another critical move, yes. We can see both of them. Which one do we start with? Or not mate, but threaten h8 trading. Yes, exactly, John. Rook h8 is a big time threat. So let's consider this let's consider this first, which I think in d6 is most challenging because well, because for a reason we're gonna see. So let's see king e6. Yeah, king e6. This is the threat, right? Rook h8, and we cannot block with the rook because after the trade, white wins. So John is guessing king d8, but both moves, king d8 and king f8, prevent the checkmate or the problem of the rook trade. So we have two options here. One goes to the long side and one goes to the short side. Which one would you pick? I told you already this principle, we've seen it today, and it really applies here in this position. Okay, tester required for you to whistle. Short because you want to draw. Yeah, short. Oh, the clip on short. Short, I remember 5 minutes ago. Okay, if you can remember 5 minutes ago, King f8 is the only move to draw here because we want the rook on the long side, so we go with the king to the short side. So this move draws. And next, what we're gonna do is here and checks from the long side. In general, as a general rule, maybe we wait for a time, maybe we wait until the pawn is pushed. That would make more sense. But yeah, you go to the short side. And now, for example, if check, just king g7. Pepe, have you ever hurt your opponent physically? No, never. And maybe threatened their loved ones? I don't think so. No, I'm a very calm person in that regard. I never have you ever hurt your opponent gently? He's thinking about it. I'm trying to remember, but I didn't even have any problems with any opponents. And I'm remembering because there's some conflictive people out there, and I've played against a lot of people, and I played against some conflictive people, but I didn't even have problems with them because I don't like to go there. So I totally escape conflicts out of the board. But you want to put yourself in the corner to run out of space, right? Or is the idea more about giving checks? The idea is about having this king in this side to be able to have the rook on the long side and do the checks. What if rook d8? Yeah, the problem is now we're moving from one position. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Let's do it. We go to the long side, for example, and yeah, we keep the king here, controlling this, so this king cannot go there. So to advance the pawn, either he goes to this side, or he goes like king f5, which we can check, or we can just wait. So there's plenty of options here. What would be the most critical? Let's say we allow some construction, like maybe white wants to construct some Lucena position, so king e7 makes sense, maybe. Who took your PFP? It's very artistic. My what? Okay, we wait. Can you turn water into fizzy water? Ah, my profile pic. What is my profile pic? I don't know what my profile pic is. Can you describe it? Let's say white keeps there. Now we start checking, and okay, this is a position we're gonna see later. Is you making a G-baited kind of face, or maybe not quite. We're gonna see this position in some minutes. It's a masterful chin display. Is it one where I have a green bandana on my head? And okay, I didn't want to show this because we're gonna see it in a moment, but this is a draw. And this we go to a8, and it's a draw. We're gonna see this in a moment. But yeah, basically what I wanted to show is, in case of doubt, you go to the short side with the king. That's important. We're gonna see why that is a draw in some minutes. But if that happens, you go to the short side. Yeah, we can show why going to the long side loses. But yeah, basically we're not gonna have room for the checks. We don't even have access to the H file now, so yeah, it's kind of hard. Never play f6. Hey, Roken. Yeah, I mean this is completely lost now. Let's say we wait, and just rook f8, rook f7, king f8. Okay. So going back to this position, king d6 is the critical move. But yeah, king e6 is critical too. But this is maybe more critical because against king e6 it's more or less obvious we need to move the king, and it's more or less obvious where we need to move the king, which is king f8. But against king d6 it's not obvious what the defense is. Because if we check and he goes to e6, now we need to move the king, and our rook is going to be in really bad shape. So what do we do here? It has you written all over it. What? I wonder, Lion. What? Rook a1, rar. What? Okay, rook a1 does not draw, because after check the king goes to f7 and oh, bummer, e6 comes with check. Oh, that's a big time bummer. Now we're losing. e7 is the follow-up and there's no way to stop the pawn. King g7, we might try to attack the rook, but he's still e7. And yeah, okay, we might get a rook versus queen, but we're gonna lose the rook very fast. I can tell you that. Oh, the what Naka's clip. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, this is not even a queen versus rook, because we're gonna lose the rook. So here, queen here, obviously. So we have to go here. And now, what's the fastest? This is the fastest. And you can pre-move queen f6, queen takes a1. Queen anywhere wins. Yeah, but yeah, what I wanted to point out is that it's not even rook versus queen. It's just the rook is lost. So that's the real threat. With king d6, the real threat is that after rook h8, king f7 is forced and e6 comes with check. So the pawn promotes. So how can we stop that plan? There's only one move to stop that plan. Don't take rook by king. Keep checking. No, but the pawn on e7 wins. Okay, let's go there again. Let's go there again. Check. Yeah, let's show that. Let's show king g7, e7, and we don't take the rook. We keep checking. The thing is, it doesn't matter where we check. This king is gonna keep going towards the rook in this box, and so that the rook never attacks the pawn, and the pawn is going to promote, basically. So for example, if we check here, king here, check, king here, and because the rook is defending e8, if we take, again, check, and he takes the rook, and if we go here, because the rook is defending the promotion square, we lose. Yeah, and this is the same, basically. Yeah, what we don't want is to walk into, into the line of the pawn, but if we go here, it's all safe. I didn't even look at it, just thought the rook was lost, didn't study the position, shrug. King f8, Pepe, trust me, I am 1800. Okay, let's go back, all the way back to this position after king d6. And so, white's threat is check, check, e7. And John John is saying king f8. Let's show how king f8 loses. check. And again, if king f7, e6 check wins. And if king g7, this is actually interesting because this is not easy to win. Rook a8. And this is going to lead to Lucena, I think. Basically, after rook d1 checking, king e7 push, the rook will eventually go to do some checks, and we're going to build Lucena endgame and win. King f8, good try, good try. There's only one move that draws here. This is called Kling and Horwich defensive technique, because these two guys happen to discover this defense. It's not easy, but I will give you a hint. White's threat is check, and after king f7, e6 check. Okay, I can tell you we cannot prevent rook h8 check. There's no way to prevent rook h8 check, because the only move that prevents it, it's not good. Basically, every move wins. e6, rook e7 check. So now all of you say in the chat rook e1. Yes, rook e1. The only move that prevents e6 check. Rook e1 is the only move. It's a very hard move if you don't know it. It's a hard move to do if you don't know it, right? So let's make this the main line. I have a lot of lines here. I have to clean up this study. Delete from here. Delete from here. I'm gonna keep the king e6 line. Okay, king e6. Easy, Pepe, next puzzle. Easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Yeah, basically now if rook h8 check, king f7, there's no e6 check. So this is good. This is good. It's usually uneasy to find hard. Rook f6 prevents e6 check as well. That's right. That's right. I didn't see that. Oh. Okay. Now, what happens after rook e1, king e6? Haha. What do we do now? Wow, we have that command? We have the followers command? I didn't know it. Oh, you added it. Oh, thanks, Sakuho. Thanks, I wasn't following the chat. Rook a1, long side. Now we're far enough. The problem is the checkmate threat. So white is threatening checkmate. Rook a1 is nice, except it's risky. Sorry, king f8 and rook a1. Okay. Yeah, okay. So there's a checkmate threat. We cannot stop it immediately. We should go like rook f1 to be able to stop it, and we don't want to stop it because the rook trade here wins to king d7. So we're again in this position where we have to pick the long side or the short side, and by all means we always pick, as we know, the short side with the king. Sometimes you gotta take risks, man. Yeah, but hanging a mating one, it's tough. Short side with king. Oh, so short worked. Chess is the best game. Thanks for the follow. I like your nickname. I'm sorry, OK tested, but Mika's command short worked. And Nightbot has a time window. Yeah, if two commands get very close together, it only works the first one. So you can try again, brain, but it's not going to be useful for our session. So yeah, king f8. King f8, easy defense. Easy defense. In the book it shows why king d8 doesn't lose either. but of course it's risky. Maybe we can have a look at the line that the book gives. Wow, the book gives a lot of lines now. Let's see that quote. We should tell weak chess players to eat electricity to play more like engines. Natural selection. Wow. I like that quote. I don't remember that quote, but I like it. Some beautiful person must have put it here. Most of the quotes were added by you, Roken. Never play f6 roar. So actually this is funny. King d8 doesn't lose, guys. King d8 doesn't lose, but the book is giving King d8 question mark, King d8 question mark, and it says this move illustrates the faulty defensive technique, rook on the short side. We can compare with the case of a bishop's pawn. If there is a chance, we should always move our king to the short side. Rar. The text move is thus inaccurate. However, it's still a draw, but not an easy one. So rook h8, king c7. Obviously, now we can see the importance of playing the rook in the rear of the pawn. White cannot move king e7 to secure the advance of the pawn. So this is still a good defense, even with the king on the short side, on the long side, sorry. All these great quotes and clips. I'm God Emperor Pepper from the lands of you. Okay, white can try this, and this is an important position, because yeah, sometimes you are in this position not because you blundered before, but because you enter an endgame like this. So king f6, trying to make progress. What do we do now? What do we do now? King d7 says, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Heistnunk? Ithe? Tnunk? King d7, rar, rook f1 check. Rook f1 check risky because white wants to play king e7. So good news about the rook here is we prevent king e7. If he goes to f6 and we do the check, we allow him to make progress. So rook f1 risky, rook f1 losing actually. But yeah, king d7, as some of you were pointing out, and it's again the Kling and Horvich defense technique, which is putting the rook behind so the pawn cannot be pushed to the 6th rank. Now the only way to push the pawn would be to push our king out, but then we go to the back rank, and now if he pushes the pawn, we have checks forever, Philidor, right? So no way to make progress for white, even when we play king d8 in this position, which is obviously stupid because we want to go to the short side. And the book gives something else after king d6, rook e1, king e6, king d8, rook h8 check, king here, king f6, king d7 exclam, and the book gives king rook h7, it gives king e8, king e6. So it keeps repeating this line, king f8. Now another trick for white. Instead of king f6, it gives rook e8, another trick. The try is king d8, rook h8, and rook e8. I guess you mean this. Checks forever. Can't white move his king to h8? Okay, there's only one way to draw this position. So this is another interesting attempt. So yeah, well, I need to clean up this study. I'm gonna try and do this week to show, maybe I show this in different chapters, like different attempts at winning as white. They are all a draw. So this position is a draw, but there's only one move to draw. So this is a key position to know. king h1 or some crazy thing like that. King h1. No, rook h1 on the other hand. Yeah, what white is trying to do basically is push the pawn. For example, let's say we do nothing. We do rook e2. Now white can move the king, and the rook is going to be defending the pawn. So now the king is not forced to move to f6 and allow king d7, and then we need to lose a tempo to defend the rook, and then we lose the rook. No, white can go in one go to f7. And this is winning for white. Is it with king? Oh, you mean is K the letter for the king at every language? That's a good question. No, I can tell you no. In Spanish, the letter for the king is R, like rook, because the letter for the rook is T. Yeah. So no. My sources says nope. In French, it's T. T for the king? Short for Trifon Gabriel. Oh man, how many times did this clip appear today in the chat? The short clip. Roi, yeah, le roi, vive le roi. Okay, so yeah, we should avoid that. So after rook e8, someone pointed out rook h1 is the move. And now if king f7 happens, we check. And yes, we're in the short side, but thankfully if he ever attacks our rook, we have king d7. Bam! And that's a draw. Rey in Spanish, yes. Konge in Danish. English might have gotten the word from Danish, probably. Very, very likely. So, okay, then the book gives a lot of random lines that I'm not gonna see now. Nitsia for Russian. Really? Nitsia. I don't recall that word. No. Isn't there another word for king in Russian? I can't recall that word. Googled it, they got it from Finnish. Nitsia. Bye, okay. Karol. Yeah, that's the word I remember. Karol. It's Karol or is it Koral? I think it's Karol. Yeah, I didn't remember Nitsia at all. Coral. Okay, Coral. Karol, yes. Oh, you're kidding me. So one says Karol and the other says Coral. Karol. Karol is what I remember. Okay. Sorry, it's Karol. Okay. Nice. I need to go back to studying Russian. I didn't study any Russian for the last year. Okay, so this is a draw, but rook h1 is required. Okay, let's move on to the next chapter. But yeah, this is a very desperate defense. When you cannot apply Philidor, you still have this resource of putting the rook behind the pass pawn and then controlling this important square with both king and rook. And if necessary, you always go to the short side. In this case, going to the long side still doesn't lose because you still have the Kling and Horwich defense with the rook on e1, but you don't need that. Mike, what is that? Is that Georgian or Tagal? Melech. Ufta. Okay. In Hebrew. Oh, I. Oh. Pretty close to our mic, you know. No, look how good I did as if I didn't know. Okay, let's go. Let's go for a new position. Let's. This will be something we've already almost saw today. I think in the first I think in the first one, at some point we ended up in this position. That's the position I was curious about. Yes, something close. Yeah, it was this one. Sorry, Sefa. Let me put the position. It's white to play. Okay, chapter here. The position is a draw, but it involves different attempts by white to win. So first question would be, how would you try and win this position? And we're gonna find the different techniques to defend. Yeah, it's a draw, but there are several tricks here. Hey, Joey. How are you doing? My water is over. I need to grab more. Rook b7 is a good try. Yeah, Rook b7 is a good try. Wonderful. You. I'm a bit confused right now. Okay, I'm going to grab another fizzy water and I'll be right back. Rook b7, nice attempt. Yes. Rook d8. Rook a7? What? Rook d8 and king e8. Oh, we're gonna see that one, John. I'll be right back. So, okay, now, you know what? What do you think about this position, guys? John's suggestion. What do you think about this? Is this winning? King f6, king f6 draws easily. Here, king f6 defense. No, e7. Yes. Yes. King f6. It's immediately a draw. Immediately a draw. Controlling e7. And yeah, white has no checks, white has nothing. So white is going to lose the pawn sooner or later. The only way to, I mean, if you push it, you lose it. And if you defend it, you're going to lose it anyway. So yeah, that's why it's important to keep the king as close as possible to the pawn. So king f6, okay. So yeah, that plan doesn't work. Rook b7 is a better try. And we're gonna see some methods to defend here. What's the idea of rook b7? Well, obviously we want to make some room to push the pawn. How would we defend? Oh, my back. Oh, 3 minutes ago, explain 52 has followed. Maybe that was when I was grabbing my fizzy water. Thanks for the follow. Rook a1. Pepe with that smirk again. I don't know what happens. I really wondered. Pepe's not hair, not beard, and not mustache. What? King g6 as king g8, there's king f6 and push. King g6 is interesting, but it wouldn't be my first choice probably. But yeah, king g6 you can do it. In many positions, if you can wait, you go king g6, king g7. That's both your back, that's your neck layback, where you're putting a lot of pressure on your neck when you go forward. Okay. Yeah, king g6 is possible. Let's try this. How do we draw now? Long side. We're in the long side, we start checking. And the good news is, even though we left here king g7, you know, we were, with our king on g7, we were controlling this. Now we're no longer controlling f8. But if he goes to f8, we force him back to e7. So here we have checks forever and ever, right? Okay, let's show a very important case, which is, like, we might call it a lateral breach. If white tries to block the checks with the rook at some point, like here, for example, would we check here and allow rook b6? What do you think? Use a gaming chair. It's on my wish list. If you want to if you want to support me, I have a gaming chair on my wish list. Yes, because we get the e-pawn. Good answer. Can't take in pawn? Yes. Yes, there's absolutely no problem in going here, and if he blocks, we just take, and we win the pawn. So yeah, that's a draw. So after king g6, basically, white has if white moves the rook, we have the long side checks. So another try for white would be to move the king. Let's say king d7. Trying to push here. Hey Gleison nerd, is that your flag? Are you from Brazil? Donate to save Pepe's butt cheeks. Yes. There should be a way on Amazon, like, okay, a way like to, okay, I'm not gonna buy you a chair because you know it's too expensive, but I'm gonna put here €5 for the chair. Like you could donate a small amount for an item, and if many people do, then you get it. There should be a way in Amazon to do something like that. First time chess. Hey Violatic, what is up? Roken is still a mod, and you laugh. So king f6, e7, king f7, and we're good. Yes, exactly. Exactly, we're good here. What was that? Alma Confundida has followed. Are you confused? Where is your accent from? Hey, Science God. We already had one guess in the chat today, and he got it really right, my accent. So what would you think? What would you guess? Where do you think I am from, Science God? He's Minnesotan, yeah. But don't tell him. I think he left already, but Astral Eco from Michigan told me he was from Michigan. He talked weird and so, and I said no. The really weird accent is from Minnesota, and he said, oh yeah, you're right. Oh, donation, John Jong. Thanks, 134. That's your number. Thanks for the donation. Thank you, John Jong. Appreciate that. We're gonna save my butt cheeks. I watched some Spanish chess commentary. It was interesting. I think you're from planet Earth. Berlin. Losing black. Did you understand anything? Violatic is in the Milky Way. Yes, King G7 now. Roar. Yo, I'm back. Hey, OJ. What's up? No message. Oh, didn't the message appear on the screen? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It should. It should have appeared. It did show on the screen. Oh, okay, Rogan. Thank you. Thank you. John Jong, you were not paying attention. Initially, I thought Spain. You're right, Science God. I'm from Spain. But, I mean, I was born from Spain, but I'm from Minnesota now. Wesley Songhang's mate? Oh, I saw the mate. Yeah, I saw that one. Live from the Spanish commentary. Oh, it's the clip is from the Spanish commentary. Okay, perfect. It's Pepe Cuenca. Do you like America over Europe? I like some American things over some Spanish things, some Europe things, if that answers your question. Yeah, love Spain, by the way. Cool. Spanish commentary is on another level. Yeah, Pepe is another level commentating. Pepe Cuenca is the best chess commentator ever. His only problem is he does it in Spanish. Only problem. But he has a he did a he was 1 week in the San Luis Scholastic Chess Club, and they have a video of him where he did a lecture in English. I think he talked in English many other times on Chess 24. He starts shouting. Pepe want to go to Murcia to get supersized on what? I see that as an absolute win. Can you translate it at the speed he says it? No, no, Violatic, it's impossible. No one can no one can speak faster than Pepe Cuenca, uh, and he does it even when he's playing. He's amazing. Yeah, he knows English. Yeah, yeah. And Jan Gustafsson knows Spanish. Yes, and he speaks very good Spanish as well. They both have vids on Chess24 YouTube in each language. Yes, yes, they have. Another guy that knows Spanish very well is Veselin Topalov, for example, and I think Vichy Anand also has a lot of a good Spanish. Has he considered a career in rapping? I don't know. I didn't have much contact with Pepe Cuenca. Anand is best. Yeah. Murica, America. Murica. Murica is equals to America. What? Supersites, huge menus, and McDonald's. So Murica is America? How's that? Is playing against AI, or are you picking the black throws as well? Wow. I'm not understanding your question, Gleison. Gleison, are you from Brazil? Dude, I'm showing some positions, some endgames positions. Would you have never heard Murica before? No, no, I didn't. I thought you were misspelling Murcia, the Spanish city. Because we were talking about Pepe Cuenca, and someone said Pepe Murica, so I thought OJ said Pepe Murica, and I thought it was a misspell from the Spanish city Murcia, because Cuenca is a Spanish city as well. So okay, my brain, sorry. Very un-American of you. Ah, do you like maths? I love maths. I have my maths chess problems over here. I'm solving every day. Okay, some other day we talk about maths. King f6, yes, someone pointed out king f6, and there's no way to make progress in this position. e7, just king f7, and we have everything under control. If the rook ever leaves, we have checks. That's the problem with rook b7. Muscular Mayo is raiding with a party of 5. Thank you very much for the raid, Muscular. And Glazer Nerd is hosting. Thanks. Thanks for the host. We need a maths stream. Ooh, that could be... What kind of maths, John John? We could do that. Hey, Muscular Mayo. Thanks for the raid. Man, how was your stream? And welcome, everyone. Lord Sakujo told me to host you. Okay. I mean, Lord Sakujo is a bit of a troll, but but thanks. As you can see, he's a mod here, so he knows something. Complex numbers and stuff. Wow, that could be cool. Yeah. Solve previous problems from the IMO. Oh, from the IMO. Oh, you know I participated. Okay. I love channel. Muscular Mayo is an excellent chess player. Cool, good to know. Stream where you do complex problems like 7 times 5. Top tier. Okay, good to know, Muscular Mayo, and welcome to this stream. We were studying some endgames here. Just add an I file on the board. And here are your complex numbers. Good joke. Yes, I understood. IMO is International Math Olympiad. Dopest math problems on the planet. Yeah. I was... Okay, let's not talk about that. But I participated. As well as in the informatic. How is that called in English? Computer Science Olympiad? I don't know that's English name. FX function? Function? Ah, the derivative. I think that's the derivative. What are Informatics Olympiad? Oh yeah, that's it. I think what Cephà is typing there is the derivative of the function. Yeah, derivative. I played with a guy recently who got full marks in the IMO. Cool. That's cool. Is that 420? 7 times 5 times 4 times 3. So yes, that's 420. That's 420, Rosakujo. Well done. Oh, what? We don't have a quote for 420? We have a clip for that. But the quote is not, is not there. But yeah, the quote, someone should add the quote. I did it right, easy, yes. Rook c6, what about physics? Do you like it? I like physics. I studied, so in Spain we have the career of the degree of physics in the university. And I studied 3 years. I passed 3 years out of 5 of it, but I was just studying it for fun while I was studying my other degree. So yeah, I do like physics a lot. Where's the clip? How Pepe parties? Oh, there's the clip. 3 years of physics for fun. Well, for fun, what I mean is I liked it, and I decided to study 2 degrees at the same time. Oh, I have a message from my boss. I'm gonna ignore it and hope that my boss is not watching the stream. So this never happened. I didn't read that message. Is college free in Spain? More messages. Yeah, sort of. There are cases. Mostly it's not. So education is free, but then of course if you pay you have access to better schools. University is not free. The boss is watching. University is not free, but for example I had I had access to the university for free for 3 reasons. So you have ways to have access free, but that depends on what merits do you have. So it's like, yeah, for some people it is free, which is kind of unfair, to be honest. So for example, I had 3 different reasons or 3 different merits to have free access to the university, but some other people don't have one. So for example, in my case, let me remember. In my case, I was the son of a teacher, and just by being the son of a teacher, you get access for free. I won one Olympiad, one national Olympiad, the mathematics Olympiad in this case, and that gave me access for free to the university as well. And the son of a teacher, yeah, Spain. And oh yeah, and I got how was that? Best marks in the high school. But I think it's not just one person. I think it's like if you get the best marks you can get out of in high school, you also get free access at least for the first year of the university, something like that. Don't forget about your look, it's false merit. Yeah. Oh, I can tell you, when I reached the university, I didn't have beard. It's draw. Oh yeah, this position is a draw. I forgot about. This is why we create studies, guys. So you can study endgames later in the Lichess studies, and you don't have to watch this full video full of everything except lines. Okay, yeah. So rook b7 was an interesting attempt, but if the rook ever leaves, we have checks, and if the rook doesn't leave, there's no way to push the pawn because we're gonna get the king there. So okay, rook b7, first attempt. Let's see another attempt from this position. Ooh, Gleason says it's draw, and that's a neutral phase. Neutral phase. What do you mean, Gleason? Let's see. Do you know how to play guitar? Nope. I know how to play piano. I have a guitar, a very old Spanish guitar, and I know some things. I know some chords, but I don't practice, so I cannot say I know how to play it. I know some theory, but I never practice. Okay, let's see another attempt instead of. Oh, we've already seen this one. Uncheck. Yeah, we've already seen that. And of course, if the rook goes back, we just block. So let's try now. Do you know how to play banjo? Well, I guess it's not very different. No, I don't know how to play banjo. So the only instruments I've ever played, like consistently, like more than I don't know how to count that in hours, but a lot, are piano, harmonica, and flute. Those are it. Those are them. I have more than 10 years of experience with the air guitar. Oh, cool. Cool. So let's look at a tricky attempt by White, and it's good to know this one. Thankfully for you guys, I'm going to clean this study and put some texts after the stream. But look at the, oh, how about king d6 check? Yeah, okay, king d6 check, Cefa. What would we play here? I think this is easy one. The most natural move. What's the most natural move here? Well, maybe there are two moves that are natural. Master the art of singing in the shower, king f6, king f8, and e7 check, king e8. Yeah, I think king f6 is the most natural move, but then I thought that king f8 is also natural. So yeah, king f6, just simply, and there's no way to make progress. Of course, we can be a bit concerned about rook f7. I'll clip this stream every time my name appears in the followers list, and I'll add it to quotes and commands. Yeah, of course, if the pawn pushes, we always have king f7. And oh wait, he has this. No, we have checks. No worries. The pawn is lost. So we might be worried about this, but it's not a problem. The rook is hanging if the pawn is pushed, so the rook has to stop to lose a tempo, and now we have checks forever, right? Long side, no shelter, checks forever. So king f6, king f8 also draws, and if check, just go here, and no way to make progress. Even king f7, which transposes to the other line, is also a draw. Okay, so yeah, king d6 is not an attempt to winning. Only 1,749 seconds more to go. What? Looks more like that multiplied by 4. I let one of you math geniuses work that out. Yeah, you work that out. It just make me happy when I see a check. Ah, okay. You saw a check, you do the check. It's more than that, right, OJ? Okay, never mind. So the tricky attempt is rook d6. Rook d6 is a tricky attempt. Hey, Apocalypse 94. We've already seen rook d8. Rook d8 just rook a7 check just, and there's no way to make progress. White has to go rook d7 again and rook e8, because if king goes here, just king f6 controlling this, and this pawn is lost. So rook d8 is not a good attempt. Actually, the position is already a draw, so don't get me wrong, it is a draw. But we're watching a different attempts that white might have, and probably the trickiest one is rook d6, which I'm gonna do main line. Rook d6 is the trickiest of all the attempts, and I have to do a short bathroom break. Okay, just came by here. No worries, that's cool. I got to show the line again, so some people will remember, maybe. So rook d6, how do we draw now, guys? What do you think? How do we draw? Rook d6 is a sneaky move. Why is it so sneaky? What do you think? I'm gonna be back in a minute. and I'm sure you're gonna have this figured out how to draw here. I give you a hint, there's only one move to draw. I'm back. I won't spoil it for you guys. Rook f8. I must ask it to Anish Giri or Fabiano Caruana. Well, Anish Giri, if you want to draw, ask Anish. You can offer the opponent a draw to make a draw, yes? Or Picasso. Better Sergei Karyakin, he's more defensive. I bet all of them know how to draw here. Flips table. Rook a7 check. And you give a line where there's maybe a problem. Yeah, when white played rook d8, if we remember, we checked here, and king e8 didn't work because of king f6. So why it has to repeat, basically. But now with the rook on d6, if we play rook check and king e8, what is the problem with king f6? Although you're saying rook a7 there in your line, which makes no sense. Yeah, rook a8 maybe you mean. Or king f6 you meant, yeah. Yeah, the problem is e7 comes with check, and now our king cannot keep the pawn attacked. So yeah, we're basically losing here. Either we go to g7 or we go out. Let's go to g7, makes more sense to me. And now, still not easy to win, I think. How would you win this? There are many ways. I think I would play rook d8. Because if I go here, you can force me to d8 anyway. Rook d7. Yeah, rook d7 is the same. The thing is, after the check, we go rook d8. Rook moves. And then we separate the rook a bit. Then we have king d8. And now, for example, how do we lose a tempo here? King g8 allows just king d8. Yeah, king d8 is a big time threat. So now if we go here, king d8, we have the check, but just king c7, and yeah, pawn is promoting. So yeah, that's a problem. Allowing king e8 with the rook here defending the pawn, that's tricky. That's tricky because white wins now. King f6 does not help. And if we check here again, now rook d8. And now we don't have time to play at the same time rook a7 and king f6 to prevent e7. So we have to do one of them, probably the one that saves the rook. And then e7 wins, because after king f6, just a check. The mosquitoes woke up several weeks and now I'm suffer every evening. Oh, I'm sorry, Kichaika. So in the initial position we play king g6 and wait. Yes. Yes. If rook d6, we just wait. We need to keep the rook here, stopping king e8, basically. Basically, king e8 is the thing we shouldn't allow. So rook a7 actually allows king e8. So we keep the rook here defending this, and we do a waiting move. But we don't want to go rook b8, because now the rook is not far enough. And now in this line with rook d8, check, rook d7. Actually, we should also show how to win this. But okay. And rook here. Look at this, rook a7, and now the rook is in the wrong column. Now we do the waiting move. Isn't it the endgame Carlsen botched when he was younger? I don't know. And this is gonna be, oh, actually that was a bad idea by us. We go king d7 here. It's good, and we can trick people when we are white. Haha. Yeah, these positions are full of tricks. I think I should I should review this study at some other point when I'm not drunk and put clearer positions. Hey Joey, you're there. I thought you left. So yeah, rook d6 tricky, and what we do is, as someone pointed out, I think it was Hithe, Heist Nank. How's your head today? My head is perfect today. You're back and forth, nice. My head is perfect today. Make me in line. Why not? Yeah, so we wait. We keep this here and we wait. Yeah, actually, I was thinking that because I'm a bit drunk. It is. Look at move 73. Oh, thanks for sharing that. I'm gonna open it. Because I'm a bit drunk and people is a bit funny in the chat. I was thinking that maybe we should stop endgames and play some crazy house. Crazy house time, yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking, because we've been doing this for more than 2 hours, and to be honest, I'm not producing a lot of a lot of great material here. Why did you develop so long hairs? I don't know. It grows. It grows up. So let's call it a session for the endgames, and let's move on to some. Wow, I have a A challenge, a rated challenge. No, no, no. Let's play casual, please, guys. No, no rated challenges, please. Casual. Yes, Joey. Give me a second to change the title of the stream. Crazy House Only Chess.org. Please rate it. No, no rated, please. I'm too drunk for that. Let's play some forking Crazy House, baby. Can I be your third wheel? Oh, John John. I know. I know, I love you too. Best of three, says Joey. Okay. So you get two whites? Okay, okay. I see what you're trying to do. I played a few games in Shield and got roundly destroyed. Oh, did you? No arena? We can create an arena after these challenges, but I got two additional challenges. One is rated, so I'm gonna reject it already. And one from Science God, sorry. It's not Crazy House, so I'm gonna reject it as well. So maybe after this challenge, we do arena. How about that? My brain is fried. Hey, Mick. Okay, I know you're not Mick, but you are. But you're not. Oh, you cannot see my pockets. Oh. Let me fix the layout for you guys. Joey,